Hello and welcome back everyone to our YouTube channel. This video content will not only be about road conditions, but also we are going to show our overall experience and some very important tips and pointers which you need to be aware of before planning long trips. So before we start the video, let me give a recap of day 3. If you have watched the previous episode, you might know that we stayed back in Puri, Orissa on day 3, and now we are starting from there and going towards Vijayawada. The total distance we are covering from Puri to Vijayawada was like 448 kilometers, and the time was showing around 12 to 13 hours. So it was a long day for us. Now while you're watching the video, let me start telling you our experience and some pointers to remember. Now we stay in Bangalore, okay? Now from Bangalore to Bihar, when we traveled, the total distance showed was 2,400 kilometers, and while coming back we took the coastal route which also showed around 2,300 kilometers. So approx it was 4,800 kilometers. Now in reality we covered almost above like 5,000 kilometers in total. Now why I'm saying this is because if you see on the map, it will show 1 day and 20 hours from Bangalore to Bihar or from Bihar to Bangalore. The total time it will show 1 day and 20 hours, but nevertheless, if you are driving alone or you're sharing the load with someone, you ideally won't be able to finish in 1 day and 20 hours because we need to give rest to our car as well. No matter your car is a SUV, an XUV, a sedan, hatchback, whatever, you need to give rest to your car as well so that it can perform very well in your upcoming journey as well, right? So if you are sharing the load with someone, then you can finish it in 3 days. But in our case, we took 4 days while going from Bangalore to Bihar, and while coming back we took 5 days. The only reason is because we stayed 1 day in Puri. If we would not have stayed in Puri, then again we would have finished it in 4 days, right? Now in our case, as I was saying in the previous video, Pranav is the only one who drove across the entire journey, and I am not at all experienced to drive in national highway, so I could not help in there or pitch in there. So he's the only one who drove the entire journey. And why we took 4 days instead of 3 days or instead of 2 days is because we both do not like to drive late night. We always avoid to drive at late night, and we utilize the time to take rest at least for 8 hours, and then early morning again we are back on road by 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. so that we can complete or reach our destinations before 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. Now let us talk about some important essential pointers to plan long trip. The very first one, according to me, is health condition. Please don't think one odd day that you can wake up and travel 2,400 kilometers via road. Your body will give up from the day 2. On day 1 you might be very energetic, but from day 2 it will start giving up. And trust me, we have faced this. Okay, you will start feeling a little bit nausea, headache, vomiting, etc., etc. That is why you have to first adapt your body to long trip. And how will you do that? I'll tell you how. So start with short trip. Eventually increase the kilometers, like 1 day you go like around 200 kilometers, and then eventually you increase the kilometers, which can help you to travel long distances in future. Like in our case, a very small example, we bought our car in November 2021, okay, and started with Shivanasamudram, which is very nearby to Karnataka, Bangalore. Now later we went to Hampi, Ooty, then Mangalore, and recently before the Bihar trip we went to Madurai, Rameshwaram, Kanyakumari. So you see, we eventually increased the kilometers, which helped us in the long run. So try this tip. This will definitely help you to cover long distances without much health problems. Now the second topic that I would like to talk about is cost. Okay, traveling long distances is never very cheap. you have petrol or fuel cost, petrol or diesel cost, then hotel cost, toll, food. These are the most essential costs that I'm talking about. Hotel costs, of course, try to stay in a decent hotel, and on the go try to book it. Don't book way ahead of the trip, because in road trips you have to be absolutely sure whether you will be able to cover your today's agenda or not. Once you finalize your destination, and just before like 2 or 3 hours before reaching your destination, book the hotel. We used to do the same. Now, one more important pointer while you're booking the hotel, please ensure that whichever hotel you're booking, they have their own parking space. We had this problem in Adilabad. On the website it was mentioned that parking space is there, but it was not there, and we had a huge security problem with our car in Adilabad. So I don't want you guys to face these kind of trouble. So please ensure that you check the website or call the hotel and personally ask them whether they have their own parking space or not. So keep this pointer handy as well, and be very careful while you're booking your hotel. And also on the toll cost, please ensure that you're using fast track and your fast track is recharged with good amount, because if in case your balance is very low, at times your fast track account gets deactivated and it's a different level of hassle to get it reactivated. So please ensure that your fast track is well recharged while you're on the go. And another point that I would like to talk about is food. Please ensure that while you're traveling long trips, you have a good amount of packed food items, because that's going to help you. Like our day 4, honestly on our day 4 we did not get much dhabas or a decent place to have lunch or brunch, so we just survived on our packed food items. And also one important tip that I would like to give you about pit stops is that just ensure that you do not take multiple pit stops. You know why? Because that actually consumes a lot of time. Yes, you need to give rest to yourself and you need to give rest to the car, but the minimal duration of a pit stop should be around like 4 to 5 minutes or maximum 15 minutes. Okay, now don't make it a habit that you are taking 12 to 15 pit stops in a day. That is just going to consume time and it's gonna delay to reach your destination. Now coming back to the video, the time was around almost 10:30. We reached Vijayawada, and from Vijayawada it was around like 1 hour to reach our hotel. The day we reached Vijayawada, I'm not very sure why, but most of the hotels were already booked, and 1 or 2 hotels whichever we got, the parking place was not there. So finally we booked Vivanta, the Gateway Hotel, which is in MG Road of Vijayawada. That's the hotel we booked. And of course we reached there by 11:30 now, so they did offer us food. We had food there, and then we finally went to sleep because the next day was our final day, that is to reach Bangalore. So day 5 we started from Vijayawada and our final destination was Bangalore. Having that thought, we went to sleep, and yes, that's how we ended our day 4. This is the room we stayed in Vivanta. The room was beautiful, and I must tell you, the staffs are way polite. After our breakfast, when they came to know that we are going to travel long distance, they have actually packed us breakfast or brunch as well. I'll show you the box in the upcoming video. So here we start our day 5. We are traveling from Vijayawada to Bangalore. The total distance we were covering was 658 kilometers. Total timing is 11 hours. Again, it's gonna be a long day, but we were excited that we are going back home. At the same time, sad as well that such a beautiful trip was coming to an end. Yeah, this is the box I've been talking about. This is the box that Vivanta Hotel gifted us. It had a sandwich, fruits, muffins. So yeah, I have never come across a hotel with such good hospitality. Thank you to Vivanta Gateway Hotel, Vijayawada. So on day 5, we both were a little tired by now cause this was the 5th day on the road, and Pranav was much more tired than me. He was telling me that his shoulders were a bit paining. I was asking him to take some rest and then drive. But otherwise, every other thing were good. There was a point we stopped listening to songs because whichever songs we downloaded, we had to listen to them, again and again. So we stopped listening to strong songs and started listening to detective podcasts. Yeah, even you can try listening to any kind of podcast, even they are quite interesting. Now coming to the road conditions also, let me tell you, after we reached South India, 90% of the time we saw that we are getting double lanes now instead of single lanes, and the road conditions were like smooth as butter, and we were thinking that we will be reaching Bangalore as map is showing that it's gonna take 11 hours, so we are going to reach in few hours Bangalore. The scene was beautiful, as you see such long trees at such long stretch. I was finding it so beautiful to drive on this road. how many of you know the name of this flower in English? I don't know. If you know, comment below. But in Bengali, we call this fool as Kash fool, and this flower usually comes during Durga Puja times. So I was very excited to see this flower, and I found this flower at a long stretch in so many places. So yeah, if you know the name of the flower, please let me know. Now, in order to reach Bangalore, we just touched Tirupati and we took that route towards Bangalore. And this was almost evening time, so another 5 or 6 hours spending to reach Bangalore. So yeah, as you can see on the map, on the board, sorry, that Bangalore is another 240 kilometers. Yes, this is Hoskote Toll Plaza. We were happy that we are reaching Bangalore now. And as you can see on the car screen that it's gonna take another 2 hours and 3 minutes for us to reach home. So we reached home by 11 p.m. and after that we took all our luggages and went back home. So this is our entire journey from Bihar to Bangalore trip. If you want to see Bangalore to Bihar trip, that is also uploaded in our channel. You can definitely go ahead and watch it. If you have liked the video, please go ahead and like it, and if you have any questions, you can always go ahead and ask me on YouTube. I can definitely answer them, be it related to anything. Thank you very much for watching the video. See you again next time with a new place and with a new journey. Thank you. Bye bye.